morning children. Welcome back to the geography class, class 10. We are going to continue with our lesson resources, minerals and energy resources part 2, and the topic we are going to continue is nuclear power, page 189. Nuclear power. Please open your books. At the core of each atom, there are two types of particle, neurons and protons, and are held together. Nuclear energy is the energy that holds neutrons and protons. Nuclear energy can be used to produce electricity. The main raw material used for generation of automatic energy is uranium, plutonium, beryllium, and thorium. Uranium is available in the copper belt of Bihar and the rocks of the Aravalli range in Rajasthan. The Montage sand on Keral's coast contains thorium, but thorium has to be converted in uranium to be used as a nuclear fuel. India has vast deposits of thorium amounting to about 50% of the world's total. Although atomic or nuclear power contribute only up to 3% of total power generation, it has vast potential for future development. It requires technical know-how which India has achieved lately. India is one of the six countries, namely US, Russia, UK, France and Canada, which has acquired the capability of developing a nuclear power station independently. Most of the nuclear power stations have been constructed near sources of water because it is required for cooling purpose. Nuclear power station in India. The first nuclear power station was developed in Tarapur in 1969. The other plants are located in Kalalam in Tamil Nadu, Rana Pratap Sagar in Kota, Nararo in Uttar Pradesh, and Karappa near Surat in Gujarat. There is a proposal for setting up a nuclear power station in Rawat Bhatta in Rajasthan and Kagga in Karnataka and Kundalakulam in Tamil Nadu. Advantages of nuclear power. The generation of power electricity through nuclear energy reduces the amount of energy generated from fossil fuel, coal and oil. Less use of fossil fuel lower the greenhouse gas emissions, CO2 and other. Hence, help in reducing pollution. Another advantage is that less amount of fuel is required. The cost of nuclear fuel overall uranium is 20% of the cost of energy generated. The production of electric energy is continuous. A nuclear power plant generates electricity for almost 90% of annual time. It reduces the price volatility of other fuels such as petrol. This continuity benefits the electric planning as nuclear power does not depend on natural aspect as in the case of renewable resource like solar and wind. It is an alternative to fossil fuels, so the consumption of fuel such as coal or oil is reduced. This reduction of coal and oil consumption benefits the situation of global warming and global climate change. Disadvantage of nuclear power. Environmental impact. One of the biggest issues in environmental impact is relation to uranium. The process of mining and refining uranium also represent a pollution hazard. Also, once the fuel is used, its disposal is a problem as it is radioactive and dangerous. Radioactive waste. The waste produced by nuclear reactor needs to be disposed of at a safe place since they are extremely hazardous. If not stored properly, such kind of waste emitted radiation for 10 to 10 to 100 of years. Nuclear accident. The radioactive waste can pose serious health effects on lives of people as well as environment. The Chernobyl accident on 26 April 1983 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant was the worst nuclear accident in the history. High cost. Nuclear energy is disposal of nuclear waste is very expensive. Uranium is finite. Just like other sources of fuel, uranium is also finite and exists in few of the countries. It is very expensive to mine, refine and transport uranium. It is used to make weapon. If these weapons go into wrong hands, the militants can misuse it. Nuclear power plants are prime target of terrorist activity. Non-conventional sources of energy. Introduction. Energy is the most vital necessity for the daily life of all living beings and of various forms of energy. Electric energy is the most important form of the immense advantages offered by it. Most significantly, for utilization of the energy. It is the most efficient and cleanest form of energy when used for industrial, commercial and domestic requirement. The sun, water and wind have been in the inexhaustible source of energy from time immemorial. Over the last many decades, man has learned to harness these primary sources of energy to produce electricity in the successful and commercially viable form. In addition, there are many other natural sources of energy which are underdeveloped stage of generating electricity. All these sources are known as non-conventional or alternative source of energy. These have been in existence for millions of years before the development of so-called conventional source of energy. Advantages of non-conventional source. The main advantage of characteristic features of non-conventional or alternate source are these sources of energy are available freely and in abundance. In fact, they are renewable, so there is no free fear of their getting exhausted or depleted. They are environmental friendly and do not produce any waste or cause pollution. They can be tapped at large scale at one place or in small amount at number of places at the same time, including remote and inaccessible area like hill terrains, deep forest and desert. When situated close to load center, they can result in reduction of overall cost of electricity generation, making it cost efficient. Fortunately, India is ideally situated geographically, being a tropical country, to utilize the full potential of at least three major non-conventional source of energy, namely sun, water and wind. Added to this are many other sources such as biogas, considering and tremendous human and cattle population, and tidal wave energy, considering the energy's vast coastline for nearly 7,500 km. The Ministry of New and Renewable Energy has taken up several steps to exploit the full potential of these sources, which have been successful to some extent. The following are some of the non-conventional energy sources which have been exploited in the country by the government of India: solar energy, wind energy, biogas, tidal energy, geothermal energy. So children, we'll conclude our part 5 over here and we will continue in the next video. Please go through the video. Thanks for watching.